Alright, so the next task that we are going to do is to calculate the day of the year. I mean to say the 100th day or 150th day, like that. But before we jump start and start calculating day of the year, let me quickly show you one thing. I have actually minimized the columns B to H that we have already worked out in the last lectures. We don't really need to do anything with these columns in this lecture. So if you can't see the text here in these columns, don't worry, we don't need that anyway. Now let us get to the point. We are here to find the day of the year, but before we start that, let me show you something. What if I take this date of 5th of January and simply press minus sign and take the 1st of January? Excel will actually give me the duration between these two dates. So this was basically in different format. If I can just change the format here for the complete column, I can go to the general here and you can see that Excel has given it as 4 now. So basically Excel is telling me that the duration between 2 days in these two dates, or the difference between 2 days, is 4 days. And that is basically the concept on the basis of which we are going to find out our day of the year. Now before I start that, let me show you the easier way. What I'm going to do is that I'm going to write the date here as 31st of December 2017. And what is the benefit of writing this date here is that I can simply deduct these two dates from the 1st of January. I can deduct 31st of December and I can calculate the day that is basically the day of the year in this case. So if I can copy and paste this in the cells below, you can see that this is working out completely okay, and I can calculate the day of the year by using this trick. But now there is one small problem, and that small problem is that I have actually hard coded the values here. I have hard coded 12, 31st and 2017, and that is not the best practice. We should not be hard coding. In this case, the problem with hard coding would be that it would completely work out fine for 2018, but if there are dates which are not 2018, I mean dates from 2019 or 2020 or 2017, something like that, this trick will actually, it won't work out. Your whole data can actually, it can break down. So we actually have to convert the year into dynamic value, and for that what I'm going to do is that I'm going to use this formula here as date, and this formula will actually give me the date from any of the values that I write. So I'm going to write 2018 as year, and then month as 12 and day as first one, and if I press enter, okay, not 2018 first, let's go to 2017 first, and then month as 12 and then date as 31st, and I press Control Enter, you can see that I can find out the same date but using this formula here. Now what I did before I start something extra, next thing what I really need to show you is that if I take 2018 and take the month as 1 and take the day as 1, if I take the day as 1, it will give you the first day of January of 2018. But if I take it as 0, now there is no day 0. So what Excel will do is that actually Excel will go back to the last year and give me the first date from last year. So 2018 first month, but day is 0 here, and you can see if I press enter now, you can see that Excel has given me 31st of December 2017. Now what I need to do is that I am okay with this 0 and 1 here. This 0 and 1 is completely alright, but this 2018 is something I want to change it to dynamic. Why dynamic? Because if the year changes, this should also change with that. So if I delete this and in place of this year argument here, if I enter this date here, this will give me the error. I'm pressing enter now, and you can see that Excel has given me the error. So basically what is happening is that Excel was only asking you for the year and you have given a complete date. So that way it won't actually work out. So I'm deleting this A2 here, and rather than giving any specific cell, I'm giving a formula here, and that is year. I'm asking Excel to select year from the argument that I'm giving, from the cell I'm giving, and the cell I'm going to give them is this A2, and now I will close this bracket here, and now if I press enter, you can see that Excel has now correctly given me 31st of December 2017, and Excel has calculated this year dynamically. So the year is 2017, that is coming by a formula. So what that will mean, if I go back here and I change this 2018 to 2019, you will see that it has changed to 2018 automatically. And if I change this to 2020, you will see that this has automatically changed. So this way I have, made it dynamic. So if the year changes, Excel will work out that, and my formula won't break down. So with that, now you can see that I have actually perfectly calculated my date. What I'm going to do is that I'm going to copy and I'm going to paste this in all the cells here, paste, and you can see that here, if I can just make it bigger, you can see that if I go down, Excel will calculate any value perfectly all right. So if I can scroll down, here we are at 7th of May 2020, and you can see, ignore this one for now, you can see that Excel is telling me that this is the 128th day of year 2020. And how it has worked out, it has actually taken the difference between these two dates. What does this date show you? It shows you the actual date on which the transaction took place. And what is this one? This date basically takes you to the year, to the point 0 from where the year starts. So basically this 128 means that this date, particular date, is 128th day of the year. Now what we have done here is that we have taken the difference, but we are now going to do it a little smartly than breaking it down into multiple cells. So let's do it here in this new cell. So I will not change anything in column I and J. I will work out everything from scratch here. So I will say this value minus, and minus what? I will say date, and which date. Now in the year argument, I have to give a dynamic value. So I will say year has to be a formula. From where Excel has to choose the year, Excel has to choose the year from this value, and then close the bracket. And then the month should be 1 and the day should be 0. So I'm telling Excel that you have to deduct two dates. The first date is this one. The second date Excel has to calculate itself. That date should be taking the year from here, but then the month should be 1 and the day should be 0, which means that actually Excel will go back. So I will close the bracket now and I will press enter, and it should give me the same value. Now I don't really have to lock anything. There is no absolute reference here, so I will just copy and paste everything here, and you can see that I have rightly calculated. If you can compare these two values, I have correctly calculated the date of the day of the year in the cell. So that is a little time taking, but once you are hands on this will be really useful. So in the next lecture we are going to do something even more interesting. Please stay connected.